Hello guys, good morning and welcome to our first video on Microsoft Excel. Microsoft Excel is one of the numerous software alongside Microsoft Word, Publisher, PowerPoint. It is actually an electronic spreadsheet with lots and lots of rows and columns used for either performing calculations, graphical representations, or simply organizing large volumes of data. So the aim of this video is to present you to the layout of Microsoft Excel and gradually show some of the functions or the functions that we'll be using in this course. I like to say that this course has been designed for both beginners and professionals, so regardless of what level of expertise you are in Excel, you will be sure have something to benefit from this course. And we are beginning from the very least opening of Microsoft Excel to the most advanced activity that you can carry out in Microsoft Excel. Regardless of the version of Microsoft that you are using, sure you will benefit from this course, and this course is applicable for your software or your version of Microsoft. So like I earlier said, in this first video we are going to be looking at the layout of Microsoft Excel or the anatomy of Microsoft Excel, so that you get versed with the software and follow up with tutorial. So in this video we will be looking at the layout of Microsoft Excel, as I earlier said, or simply the anatomy of Microsoft Excel to get you versed with the software, some functions that are really important for Microsoft Excel, and a lot more. So let's get started. Whenever you open Excel, it should take you to a screen like this where you have documents. That's where you can find documents which you kind of lost due to maybe power failure, for those in areas where electricity is not constant, or maybe your battery, power failure. It can be as a result of the battery of your machine shutting down, or whatever reason that can account for your machine or the program or the software shutting down without the open file being registered, being saved. Then the software somehow recover it for you, and when you can go to document recovery to find your document. You can equally find here some of the recent Excel sheets that you've worked on. And here, which if you need space, you can find different formats of Excel sheets that you possibly will want to open depending on what you need. You can select from here, or there is an option for you to get it online. Search for online template in case you don't find the template you need to do your work on in this space. So you equally here you have older Excel sheets that you've worked on, but most traditionally this is the Excel sheets that we perform most of our calculations in. Here we have a cell with rows and then column. These are columns and then these are the rows, and each cell is defined by its row and its column. Like this cell has an identity. The identity of the cell is found up here, which is C4. That means if I should come to column C and row 4 at their intersection, I will be able to find this cell, and whatever you input in here, whatever you input in there appears in the formula space. You'll equally have a formula space here where you can type in your formula directly here, or you can click there to type your formula, or you can simply click in the cell, and whatever you start typing, it appears in the formula space. Talking of Excel anatomy, this is actually a workbook, an Excel workbook, which is made up of sheets, which is made up of one sheet. You can have multiple sheets, and you can rename your sheet depending on the data or the information that you have. For instance, this could be names of enterprises, could be named simply, and you can also have a new spreadsheet here, which we'll call maybe school, for instance. Schools, yeah. So, and a collection of these spreadsheets make what we call a workbook in Excel. So each of this spreadsheet is identical. All the spreadsheets are identical and made up of rows and column. You discover that when I select the letter of the column, all the entire column is selected, and when I select the row number, all the entire rows are selected. But if you in case you want to select just a particular region, you need to enter this your working space, and for you to be able to select just particular regions, because if you stand here, you're going to be selecting the entire column of your spreadsheet, or this way you'll be selecting also the entire rows of your spreadsheets. And how do you select in the first place? Selecting, you need to left click and then move your mouse in the direction you want to do the selection. If you want to select maybe from right to left, you left click and then you move your mouse to the left. Otherwise, you select the cell from where you want to do. So based on the fact that each cell has its unique identity defined by its column and then the rows, so can you guess what will be the identity of the selected cell? Yeah, if you guess C13, then you guess correctly. And what of this? A1. Sure, if you had A1, then you did guess correctly. And based on the fact that each cell has a unique identity, this bring a lot of possibilities in Excel that we are going to be exploiting, we are going to be seeing as we go throughout this course. Based on the fact that each cell has a unique identity in Excel, this brings us to limitless possibilities of calculation, of graphics, of data operation in Excel. So next in our Excel anatomy will be what we call a range in Excel. A range is simply several collections of cells. Just like we are able to describe a cell in Excel, we can also describe a range in Excel. And how do we do that? We do that by starting from the topmost cell top left cell, which is J5, to the bottom right cell, which is P17. So in defining this range, we will say J5 to P17. Great. So based on what we've seen, how will you define or describe this range? If your answer was R5 to X14, then you got it right. And in defining a range, we said, for instance, R5 to X14, R5 through X14. And how do you define the through? Is with the use of a column. So that is the anatomy of Excel. So we have a column, we have a row, we have a cell, ranges, and all of that are found in a spreadsheet. This is a spreadsheet, a worksheet, or simply you just refer to it as sheet. And we equally saw that we can add more worksheet by simply clicking on the plus sign below to have as many worksheets, spreadsheets, or simply sheets as possible. And you can also equally rename your sheet by double clicking on the name tag below and then writing the name you want to write. Also important when it comes to the layout of Excel is the fact that each sheet has tabs, like the home tab, insert, page layout, the formula, data, review, and so on. And you discover that whenever you click on each tab, the tools belonging to that tab appears below. Different tools appears, and the tools are different for each tab. And this part of tools defining each tab is collectively called a ribbon. And so if I click on insert, I get the insert ribbon, which is made up of different tools. If I click on home, for instance, I get the home ribbon, which is made up of different tools as well, defining the home. Equally, each ribbon is made up of different groups. Like for the home tab, the home ribbon, we have different groups, and the editing group, cell, style, number, alignment, and font. Each of this group has defined specifically what you can be able to do with the data that you've entered into your cell in Excel. Not all the options can fit into the groups, so provision has been made, or provision is made for enlarging each group. Like if you look to the bottom right of each group, there is an arrow where if you click, you get more options defining a particular group. Yeah, so if I click on the number group, I get this, where we have number, we have alignment, we have font, border, fill, protection. All of these which you can use, all of this tool which you can use to format or to edit your data, the data you have inputted in your selected or active cell. What permits you to enlarge or get more options for each group is called a launch button, or simply a dialog launch. But notice also that not all the groups have this launch button, which means that all the tools in the group we're able to fit in the provided space. Again, for the alignment group, we also have a dialog launcher which can open you to alignment. Alignment, I guess we've seen this before. For the font, still it opens you to the font group where you get more options that would normally not be able to fit here. In addition to all what we've seen, to the tabs, to the ribbon, the groups, we equally have a vertical scroll bar, which you can use to scroll up and down your Excel, your worksheet. We equally have a horizontal scroll bar and a zoom slide. This zoom slide is used to either zoom in or zoom out of your working sheet of your worksheet for clarity, or to more visibility in cases where you have like numerous data, where your data becomes larger and larger and you need to reduce either the font size for you to be able to see more data. Finally, for this video, if you look beside the horizontal and vertical scroll bar and also the slide, the zoom slide, we have page break preview, we have page preview, and we have page layout. But most Excel users spend their time on the normal Excel worksheet. Next, we are going to be looking at how data are entered into a spreadsheet or an Excel workbook. That is going to be in our next tutorial or in our next video. Thank you so very much for watching. Thank you for your patience, and if you have any comment, any question, or something that was contrary to what I said, I'll be glad if you share it in the comment section and we take a look at it. Life is a continuous process of constant learning. We keep on learning and we learn new things, and sometimes things we thought we knew better, we get to learn from other people as well. And this is also for me a learning process. It's a learning process, and I know that there are so many people, so many experts out there who will come across this and will also impact me in one way or another. So I will really appreciate for your comment. I will appreciate for your teaching me as well. Thank you. Not forgetting to subscribe to our page so that more people can get to see this video, can get to learn and